Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
Shane Gillis doesn't ease onto the stage. He charges in like a wrecking ball aimed straight at Donald Trump's bloated ego. From the first line, it's clear this isn't going to be a light roast. It's a full-scale demolition, a comedy crew tearing down the self-proclaimed greatest dealmaker who left behind busted casinos, a shuttered university, and stakes that wouldn't survive a high school cafeteria lunch line.
Also, can we stop pretending Donald Trump knows ball? It's like a weird thing where they're like, man, he loves sport. He doesn't know anything about sports. Every time a team comes and visits the White House, he's like, and you must be the guy who catches. It's like, look at these guys, big guys, black guys. But it was halftime and we looked up and we saw Trump. I was with my buddy and I was like, we should just sneak up there and try to meet him. And we did. We got into his suite, which turns out it's pretty easy to get access to Donald Trump, which is probably like...
Trump once sold himself as the face of luxury, but Gillis reframes it as discount spectacle, gold-plated flash disguising mediocrity. The roast works because Gillis turns Trump's bravado into slapstick theater. He hones in on Trump's obsession with winning every argument, even when the scoreboard screams otherwise. It's like watching a kid lose at Mario Kart and insist the controller's broken, the sun's in his eyes, and everyone else is cheating. Trump never concedes, never admits defeat, always spins wreckage as triumph. That's not leadership, it's toddler logic dressed in a tailored suit.
Speeches of world leaders given, it's got to be up there with like Churchill, Gettysburg Address. Anyway, for real though, it was my favorite speech I've ever seen a president give. It was the night the United States killed the leader of ISIS. Trump comes out of the Situation Room at like midnight in the White House and he walks down that fucking tunnel like and gives a press conference like he's giving a post-game NBA.
What Gillis does best is blow up Trump's quirks until they read like cartoon panels. The spray tan isn't just a cosmetic choice, it's an orange force field shielding him from reality. The hair, not a style, but a frantic construction project that makes his Atlantic City disasters look organized. With absurd precision, Gillis sketches Trump as less a statesman and more a walking meme. A man who transformed the Oval Office into the world's strangest open mic stage.
Is very high unemployment amongst the...
The what? The tall?
Go ahead, say it. The blacks, and we're going to get them back to work. We're going to get them working again. Remember when they worked? Sometimes they worked for...
We got them working. Yeah. We got them working.
I'm not voting for either of you guys.
Let's not pretend you were going to vote.
For Gillis, Trump's rallies aren't political gatherings. They're pro-wrestling promos stretched to marathon length. Trump plays the hype man who can't stop recycling catchphrases, pitching slogans with the same salesmanship he once used to hawk branded water bottles. Gillis skewers the sight of red hats tossed around like bargain bin merch at a minor league ballgame, pointing out that the real show is the repetition itself. Each speech unravels like a greatest hits album of grudges, grievances, and self-congratulation. Every best ever sounds thinner than the last, like a cover band stuck on one song, desperate to convince you it still slaps.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He died like a dog. That's all him, dude. I didn't change one word of that. That's what he opened with. And then he did 40 minutes. The speech is 40 minutes. For no reason. It wasn't a prepared speech. He freestyled 40 straight. Not even a speech, just mean shit talk.
Then there's Trump's fixation on loyalty. Gillis dismantles it by likening the demand for blind allegiance to a magician forcing applause after every trick, even when the rabbit refuses to come out of the hat. Support isn't enough. Trump craves worship, endless chants that he's the smartest, strongest, richest man alive. Gillis finds the comedy in that desperation, showing how the hunger for validation reduces Trump to a parody of strength, someone who measures greatness not by accomplishments, but by the sheer decibel level of applause.
He missed, and we shot him and killed him immediately, and... Ooh, you like that? That changes the way I thought about you. I thought you were a disgusting until... when you cheered there, it excited me.
Shane Gillis doesn't let Trump's business record slide. He cracks that Trump has filed for bankruptcy more times than some comics have bombed at open mics. If Trump were really the mogul he claims, Gillis says, Atlantic City would look like Dubai, not a graveyard of failed casinos with his name fading on the signs. The irony writes itself. The self-proclaimed deal-maker with a financial scoreboard so riddled with losses it makes Enron look competent. Gillis milks the melodrama, comparing Trump to a washed-up actor stumbling into auditions armed with nothing but a dated headshot and a shaky monologue. That disconnect, between the weight of the office and the pettiness of the man, fuels some of Gillis's sharpest jabs, turning presidential briefings into absurd vaudeville routines.
Whole world. Abu. We could hear him crying. I said, Abu, don't cry. Abu. Let me tell you something. Abu cried. He cried quite a bit. I wouldn't have cried. Cry baby Baghdadi. That's what we were all calling it.
Look, I love everything about that speech. I love it. I love thinking about Trump in the Situation Room, surrounded by generals watching watching special forces, watching those cocksucking Navy SEALs. Those, by the way, if I was in there, I'd be like, get out of there.
The roast also drills into Trump's relationship with truth, or more accurately, his allergy to it. Gillis paints him as a magician who keeps promising rabbits, but half the time the hat is empty and the other half it coughs up a pigeon in disguise. Facts aren't the act. The illusion is. If Trump says it loud enough, it becomes reality. Gillis skewers this with a kid analogy. The child who insists his imaginary friend is real and throws a tantrum when nobody sets a place for it at dinner. The comedy lands because it exposes the absurdity of watching a grown man in the highest office act out fantasies and demand the world play along. Gillis pushes further, dismantling Trump's self-styled image as a strongman. He shows how that bravado collapses under paper-thin skin, how every minor slight spirals into a week-long feud. It's not strength on display, it's insecurity with a megaphone.
That is a problem. There is very high unemployment amongst the...
The what? The tall?
Go ahead, say it.
The blacks, and we're going to get them back to work. We're going to get them working again. Remember when they worked? Sometimes they worked for...
We got them working. We got them working.
I'm not voting for either of you guys.
Let's not pretend you were going to vote.
Trump's social media tirades get their own savage spotlight. Gillis frames the late-night typing as the diary of a man whose thumbs sprint faster than his brain. World leaders, he jokes, would wake up to discover US policy jammed between misspelled insults and random bursts of capitalization. Running a government like a teenager runs a burner account, where impulse beats strategy and every post reads like a plea for attention, is the heart of Gillis's punch. The comedy lands because it strips away any illusion of power, leaving only the image of a man waging wars with his phone like a knight swinging a broken sword. When Gillis shifts to Trump's obsession with appearances, the attempts at gravitas crumble under sarcasm. Each pose becomes another prop in Gillis's arsenal, exposing just how fragile the carefully constructed image really is.
I love thinking about Trump in the Situation Room, watching a live military operation. He's the only dude in the room that wasn't military. He must have been the only dude watching it that was like, oh! Like, you could tell he's never seen it before by the fucking speech. The speech sounded like a guy just trying to tell you some shit he saw.
A lot of guys would knock on the front door, not these guys, not our guys. Not our guys. Our guys went through the wall, they blew up his wall. And they used dogs. Beautiful.
Shane Gillis doesn't let up. He sharpens the knives further, taking aim at Trump's obsession with greatness, a punchline that practically writes itself. Trump has called himself a genius so often that Gillis jokes he might actually believe it, despite grammar slips, mangled geography, and historical flubs at every turn. It's like watching someone brag about being a master chef while burning microwave popcorn. loud, confident, and blissfully unaware of the smell filling the room. The roast digs deeper as Gillis unpacks Trump's peculiar speech patterns. The choppy fragments, the looping repetitions, the cartoonish hand gestures, every rally clip becomes material. Each rambling detour into irrelevance is another chance for Gillis to spotlight just how far Trump drifts from coherence.
The president of soccer.
And sure enough, the president of FIFA soccer was also in the suite with us. He was getting like nachos. And Donald Trump just looks at him and goes, "You." And the guy put his plate down and walked straight to us. And then Donald Trump didn't even look at him. He just kept talking to his daughter and he goes,
This is the president of soccer. And they gave us the World Cup, and they did that because of me.
and then he walked out of the room.
Then comes Trump's fixation on numbers, crowd sizes, TV ratings, imaginary polls, brandished like trophies in a desperate bid to prove superiority. Gillis mocks it by comparing him to a washed-up rock band bragging about county fair attendance. The tragedy isn't the numbers themselves, whether small or fabricated. It's that Trump clings to them as if they validate his very existence. Gillis flips the script. Here's a man who once led the free world, yet spent more time fretting over Nielsen scores than national crises. The absurdity doesn't need embellishment. It speaks for itself. From there, Gillis dives into Trump's love affair with his own name. Hotels, casinos, airlines, bottled water, even frozen steaks. An empire built less on wealth than on self-advertisement. Gillis jokes that if Trump could, he'd rename the seasons. The result isn't a monument to success, but a surreal yard sale of ego, where every item on display screams the same 5 letters. TRUMP.
A lady, a lesbian or something. This could be a tough one to defend at work.
Shane Gillis dives into Trump's endless feuds, framing them as the hobbies of a man who treats fighting like a pastime. Journalists, athletes, celebrities, even weather forecasters. No one was off limits. Gillis likens him to the loud guy at a bar who heckles everyone just to keep the spotlight on himself. The joke lands because it captures the absurdity of a sitting president acting like an internet troll, firing off insults with the maturity of a teenager in a comment section. From there, Gillis skewers Trump's inflated sense of style. The long ties, the baggy suits, the orange glow, each one becomes a punchline. Gillis describes him as a man who looks like he dressed in a funhouse mirror and believed the reflection was flattering. The image sticks because it cuts through the manufactured aura of power, exposing a presentation that was always more cartoon than command.
But there are some...
President Trump, I noticed you grabbed your microphone there.
Say it. Whatever you're thinking, say it.
What a great institution.
Then Gillis zeroes in on Trump's legendary inability to take criticism. Every insult becomes a vendetta, every roast a scar. Gillis calls it the Achilles heel of a man desperate to project indestructibility, yet cracking at the faintest jab. It's a paradox tailor-made for comedy. The louder Trump boasts about toughness, the more obvious it becomes he's thinner-skinned than a soap bubble drifting through a cactus patch. Gillis twists the knife by suggesting Trump's true kryptonite isn't political opposition but late-night comedians who can't resist making him the punchline. The closing blows are Gillis's most savage. He reframes Trump's quest for immortality as a spectacular backfire. Trump dreamed of being etched in marble as a giant of history. Instead, Gillis insists he'll live on as a cautionary meme, a looping reminder of how far ego can drag a man from reality. His legacy isn't carved in monuments but recycled endlessly in gifs, each one funnier than the last. And in that laughter, Trump's image collapses, not into greatness, not even into failure, but into the role